Yo, yo, yo. What's good? What's good? What's good, Passport Bros? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Let me know if y'all can hear me. I'll give a few seconds for people to come in. Hope all is well. All right, cool. Hope all is well. All is well. So, so tonight, I have a special guest, a couple of special guests going to come up and talk about some of the things that's going on this in October for Halloween weekend in the Dominican Republic. I have a returning guest. I introduced him maybe a few months ago when I first started this particular channel, and I brought him back so he could talk about his annual community service event in the DR. So without further ado, I'm gonna play just some highlights of past events and what to expect.
Yeah. Got the flight book, it's a library. I'm in the DRDO. Just took a flight to Bora Bora and foreign cars like foreigners. Berry on her. Up in France, bitch, bonjour. I been come to go so we going Paris tomorrow. Only Paris we carry, spin at the mall. We doing the same alone. My diamonds be saying, add some more change. That's the same alone. Dripping all the way from home and taking the wrong. Got the flight book, it's a library. We ain't flying solo. Tune in to the show. It's the Passport Bros. No excuse entertainment. Jay Slay on the show. Turn it up some more. It's the Passport Bros.
Mother Teresa said, "It's not how much we give, but how much love we put into giving." And your generous donation can help spread the love and create the best possible life for the children of the Dominican Republic. These are the faces of those you'll help bring smiles to with your heartfelt giving. Please join the Caribbean Rescue Team as we once again present the annual Christmas in October, a mission to brighten the lives of children from undeveloped, disadvantaged, and underrepresented communities throughout the Dominican Republic. The CRT is a very special group of black men who travel the world with a purpose: to put a smile on the faces of the young by providing toys, school supplies, food, clothing, and more. All made possible by your support. Please spread the love and help make each day a gift for the children of the Dominican Republic. Send your generous donation through ZellePay.com, account Caribbean Rescue Team at gmail.com, or PayPal.com/PayPalMe/Willis Sigma. And
compañía, brazo tendido. La colita. No disparen, don't shoot.
That's all right, man.
Enderecen la fila, no importa que pegue allá atrás, enderecenla. Estamos detenidos hasta que no enderecen la fila, no vamos a dar juguete. Enderecen la fila, enderecenla. Si no enderezan la fila, no vamos a dar los juguetes. Ustedes son los que saben.
Yo, what's good, Mike?
What's going on, my brother? What's going on?
Oh, nothing much, man. Just been ripping and running, man. Recently got back from Colombia, and that's why I was a little behind. So apologies for being a little behind, but
Understandable.
yeah, man. So I know you. I know how it is this time of year, with planning and getting this event going on, man. So how you doing, and how are things with the planning this year?
Well, I am doing fine. Things are good. Things are on track, but extremely busy because, as you know, since a lot of us was kind of locked down for 2.5 years, next week I'm going to Dominican Republic for 7 days. Then when I get back from there, I'm gonna rest a week. Then I'm going to Colombia for 14 days.
Oh wow!
And October is our annual event, and I'm gonna be down in the Dominican Republic for 3 weeks. So it's busy.
Okay.
It's very busy.
Okay, cool. So those who may be their first time tuning into the channel, because I know it's been a while, introduce yourself. Let them know a little bit who you are, about your love for the Dominican Republic, and then what made you start this annual initiative for Christmas in October.
Okay, well, my name is Michael Willis. I live here in the Windy City of Chicago. Been basically living here all my life. Basically around 1981, 82, while in college. I graduated from college in 82, and I think I got my passport maybe in 1980. But one of my buddies talked about traveling to the Dominican Republic in 82. Prior to that, we were going to Mexico, and we were just doing all the Cancun trips, as most college students do. But when he said, come and go with me to the Dominican Republic in 1982, boy, when I landed in the Dominican Republic, I thought it was paradise. Now, one of the things I enjoyed the most about the Dominican Republic, I found people that looked like me. And for a matter of fact, other than the fact that I didn't speak Spanish, they thought I was their relatives. They was just saying, asked me, was I related to somebody in their family? Wow. And that was because their features, everything about most Dominicans look like most of us here in the United States. And I'll never forget the time in 1983 when I was at one of the resorts in Punta Cana. It was a long line of people, and I was at the end. And the workers at the resort saw me, and basically they put me in the front. In the dining area, when it was time to eat, they would make sure that me and my guests, we got the best seats in the house. And when it was time to eat, they would make sure that we got the best food on the buffet. And then I realized that was the place that I enjoyed the most. You know, we were also traveling to Brazil all the time, but the Dominican Republic for me was my jewel and was my place that was a home away from home. So then what began to happen as I began to move around the island and to begin to meet people that became my friends, and they wanted me to come to see where they lived at, I realized that what the tourist people were seeing wasn't a reality on how a lot of people that lived in the Dominican Republic, how their lives was. But they were just so humble and so friendly, even though a lot of them lived in houses that when it rained, it would rain on you, that when you would go there, it was no paved cement where you can walk on, that they would make sure that you were comfortable. And if they didn't have anything else to eat, they will offer it to you. And then as I looked at the children, And I said, looked at the children, I said to them that if we as Black men was traveling there so often, and now I travel there, I've been going like every 3 months I try to go, and I was just taking always a big group will go with me, and I would say, brothers, we need to start traveling with a better purpose.
Right.
We need to start doing something to uplift these communities and these areas where a lot of these people that we meet where they live at. What can we do? And that's when we came up with the Christmas in October. And the Christmas in October was a way of us of trying to give back to a lot of the children in the Dominican Republic. And what we would do was that we would just bring toys, school supplies, we would bring just fellowship. But the most thing about it too is that we wanted to intermix with them as Black men, because we realized that a lot of those families, as children, they didn't really see a lot of strong Black males in their lives, and we wanted the children of the Dominicans to get a different view of a lot of the American men that were coming there. The mindset of a lot of the American men coming there, they thought they were just coming there to have fun.
Right.
We wanted them to see a different vision of who we were as Black men, and that's the reason why we would invite clowns, and we would have music, and we would dance with the children, and we would actually sit with them. We would actually do a lot on those days, always around Halloween weekend, always usually the last weekend of Halloween. Basically, it started off as one day, but as with anything, as it began to grow, now we have to do it 2 days, and we kind of move around a little bit. And that's where we at now. We're preparing for our annual Christmas in October.
Wow, wow, wow. And this is year number what for this event?
Year number 7 as it actually becoming an official thing. But long before that, before we had anything organized, we were always bringing gifts and things down and just giving them out. We would always just going in the communities and hanging out in the communities where a lot of the people that you would see in the tourist areas where they would be at, where they lived at, we were always going there. But we wanted to do something more structured. And the more structured event basically occurred around 7 years ago.
Okay. Wow. So that's good. I attended 1 year, and to be honest, I was very impressed. I was impressed by the turnout. So many Dominican families and kids showed out, and I was so impressed with the brothers that helped support and donate. How is this year compared to other years as far as donations and toys and supplies this year?
This year probably is a very difficult year as it relates to donations. I don't know, is it because of the economy going around the world? I don't know, just because of the mindset of people. I don't know really what's going on, but donations are low as far as monetary donations, as far as contributions, as far as toys and gifts. Right now, it's slow too. A lot of places are saying they usually donate large amounts of gifts. I said, come back next week. Give me a call next week. Let me get back with you. And I haven't been able to figure out what's that all about. But because of the determination of our group, we're not giving up. And just a whole lot of costs for shipment, for the food, for everything that we do has just increased so much that where we might have been spending $300 last year, this year, just for the shipment and for the food and a lot of events, it's costing almost double, triple in order to be able to do some of the same things we've done in the past.
Wow. So I'm definitely going to encourage guys and myself to donate. I'm going to try to see if I can bring up one of the flyers you gave to me. Let me see if I can open it up real quick. What would you say?
While you attempt to open up that flyer, this year Well, when we originally started off, we started off as the Dominican Travel Group, but we realized that we needed to separate this event from the Dominican Travel Group because the Dominican Travel Group was doing some other activities that we just didn't want to have it related to this charity. That's the reason why we came up with the Caribbean Rescue Team. But everything started off out of the Dominican Travel Group. But the Caribbean Rescue Team, we have a 501c3. We're tax deductible, and that's through the thanks of some of the good brothers that have joined the team. That are just like, Mike, let me handle this part, and they were able to get the paperwork in. And now, when we go to the airports, in the past, several times when we get to the airports with a lot of our toys and gifts, the customs would try to take them from. And we would have to show them videos. And on the last year, customs was going to take all our toys and gifts for the children. And I had to actually call somebody in the Dominican Republic where we were actually going to have the event. And she spoke to them in Spanish, and then they let us go out. But they were prepared to take everything from us.
Wow. Okay. So I'm gonna blow up this a little bit. So I'm gonna read this flyer. So this is the Caribbean Rescue Team presents annual Christmas in October 2022. So this is for sponsorship. Official date October 29th. So I see that you're requesting some of the following: shipping, $800 you're trying to raise, food, $700, entertainment, $700, additional resources, $600. Sponsors of 600 plus will receive a logo advertisement, VIP access, and complimentary food and drinks. Transportation in DR, $300, decorations, $200, video, $200. Sponsors of 2 to 300 will receive logo advertisement. Sponsorship due by September 10th, 2022. Can be sent via Zelle to CaribbeanRescueTeam@gmail.com. There's a contact number as well. Also, this flyer, this is on the Passport Bros podcast in the community tab. So you can go to the community tab to also refer to this flyer. Let me know if you have anything you want to add to that.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for taking the time and energy to at least make an attempt to promote the event. You just don't know how grateful the team is for individuals that's like yourself, that's willing to help us reach our goal. And we just want to say in advance, thank you for that.
Oh, man, no problem, man. I always want to remember the people that was, I would say, my day one travel bros, day one when I started, man, and people that I've first interacted with, with the WhatsApp groups, it was people that introduced me to your groups, which first exposed me to the WhatsApp group culture. So, I appreciate you for, pioneering a lot of these groups where a lot of brothers that's a little bit well known now have first crossed paths. So shout out to that.
Thank you.
Shout out to that. So besides the Christmas in October and the official dates for just the charity before the service event for 2 days, is it the 29th and 30th of October?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay, 29th. Okay.
We're going to do it at 2 separate locations. We're going to do one in Sassul Cabarete, back again at Goddess Beach. And the second one, we're going to do one in Puerto Plata. We're going to go to some various orphanage and actually go there and have some events there. And we might even go, last year we found ourselves even going to a couple different churches in Puerto Plata because we had some extra stuff. So we actually went out to the communities and actually went to a couple churches and did had some fun too. It was very enjoyable for me to actually see those children have so much fun. Wow.
Puerto Plata and Cabarete. Okay. Those are those are good locations. I think when I went, I don't know the name of the town it was, but it was in a small town in Puerto Plata. I can't remember which one that was, but so those locations are recognizable to a lot of brothers. So just kind of off subject, because I know a lot of brothers that travel to the DR, and some are looking for love and relationships, and for whatever reason they don't know where to go, or they go to the wrong places looking for love. I would make a guess that if guys wanted to maybe interact with some honest women, maybe they could, maybe some lady at one of these events could catch their eye, so to speak.
Well, if you allow me to, let me just share this.
Okay.
I think almost to some degree, most of the ladies there are honest. But to answer your question, the ladies there are always watching what we do when we come there. I was in Santo Domingo a year ago, and I was just in Santo Domingo, in the place I was staying at. A young lady got on the elevator in Santo Domingo, and she said to me, "Are you that guy that be doing that event with those children in Puerto Plata Sur?" And I said, "Yeah, that's me." And she says, "I was there with my daughter." And I said, "Really?" And she said, "Thank you so much for doing that event." And I said, "No, thank you for bringing your child." So I'm saying that to say, you never really know who's watching you. And you never know, as we observe people, trust me, they're observing us too. And so there is a possibility, as we talk about who we are and the legacy that we want to leave when we go places, and how people look at us when we do things like this. They're watching us, the mothers watching us, the children watching us, and as we get older, you never know when a child is going. It's like being a teacher. When a child is somebody that walk up to you and say, "I remember you. Aren't you that person that did this, this, this?" And then you look at them, and they'll just really show you how it was just so important and so meaningful of what you did just that 1 or 2 days.
Man, yeah, man. For those that didn't catch the intro, there's some intro videos of past events, man. But seeing the smiles on the kid's face, and a lot of people don't really know the how should I say, the demographics of parts of DR, but to me they're black boys and girls, even though they're of a mixed race. When I see them, it reminds me of black boys and girls just happy to get gifts, maybe their first time ever receiving a gift, and it just shows like the spirit that you have of giving, man, and putting smiles on children's faces. On top of that, I know that you mentioned some orphanages or orphanage. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, there's Russell Taylor had an orphanage that he basically sponsored. He adopted. We were going to that one, but while doing that one, we found that there were other ones. So what we realized is that in the Dominican Republic, like probably anywhere, there's a lot of children that was basically dropped off by their parents, or picked up or placed in these orphanages, that basically really, really would love to see some people come there and fellowship with them. And so now I have people that's part of my team now that whenever they go down to the Dominican Republic, a couple of them will not leave without going by the orphanage and taking time, taking gifts, and just hang out. That is the most important part of their vacation. Is that when they go down on any trip, Mike, I gotta go by the orphanage and stop by. And I said,
are there multiple orphanages?
Yes. There are several different in Puerto Plata, I don't know the names, but there's several different places where you have children that always are looking for various different help or assistance.
Okay. Okay. So I want to ask too. So with on top of the community service event, I know you typically have different events for people that come down. Do you have anything going on this year in addition to the Christmas October event, Halloween weekend?
Well, what was happening in the past, I would develop a whole weekend package that people will come down. They'll have a chance to party and pool parties and celebrations. But what was beginning to happen for me, it was just becoming too overwhelming for me. That I was finding out that the community service project itself was so much work that when the vacation was over, I needed another vacation. So what I decided to do was that on that Halloween weekend, we have other brothers like Flip Flop, and I think he has a group called Paradise Life, and there's other groups and other people. That Halloween weekend, in my opinion, is probably the second or third most busiest weekend in the Dominican Republic. A lot of people come down there that Halloween weekend. So, I wanted to kind of have events for my friends coming with the group, but I think that the community service projects and just people devoting time for those 2 days was enough.
Yeah, I mean, actually, that's very a good idea. I'm surprised you said second or third. I was thinking Halloween weekend was like the largest weekend.
Well, I think Super Bowl Sunday, Super Bowl might be number one.
Okay.
But I know Halloween is somewhere right up there.
Okay. Yeah. I know Halloween, Super Bowl, and maybe Memorial Day weekend.
Memorial Day weekend. But Super Bowl and that Halloween weekend, it's packed. It's packed.
Wow. So while I wait for Greg's supposed to pull up shortly. I think Russ Taylor, man, he might be a little tired, man. So I know he does something every year as well. You may not have all the details, but if you could, for the brother, kind of mention what Taylor May does every year for Halloween in DR.
Well, I don't know. As you know, Brother Taylor has been extremely busy this year. He just has a lot of other things that's been going on. So I'm not really sure this year whether the activities he has planned. I do know that Greg with Flip Flop Paradise Life, he started his events planning early. So once again, I'm sure he has a whole host of things that he's doing that particular weekend.
Oh yeah, he sent me a couple of flyers.
Oh yeah, the flyers and I'm sure he's doing the boat parties and probably the mansion parties. But I'm sure Greg and Paradise Life is probably gonna really have a lot of events. And plus now that there has other you have Rumbas and you have Ambi and you have all these other establishments. I'm sure in addition to that, they're gonna be having activities themselves at their locations too. In Puerto Plata, you have a couple new clubs, and I'm sure all these new clubs for that particular weekend, I'm sure all of those places are going to be having all types of events and activities.
Okay.
And I would hope that my Caribbean rescue team that's coming down don't get distracted at the time of the events with so many other events going on. But I'm sure that won't happen.
So, do you have any recommendations? If anybody wants to help or come down during the weekend for the community service project, people say, where should I stay? Where should I look to stay? What airport should I fly to? Certain logistic stuff. transportation, things like that?
Well, let me just say this, is that when it comes to transportation right now, with the airlines, I don't know what's happening with Puerto Plata Airport, but for example, out of Chicago, I don't know about other locations, they want almost $1,000 to fly into POP. So a lot of us now are flying into Santiago. I would further say that when it comes to recommendations, that if you're looking for accommodations, like I'm telling all my guys is looking for, the longer you wait, the slimmer chances you're going to have as far as getting good spots. Like I said earlier, that particular weekend is a busy weekend. So do not wait till the last minute thinking that, oh, I'm sure I can stay there. It's never booked. You're going to have a rude awakening because that particular weekend is very busy. I'm telling you, do not wait till the last minute for your accommodations, or you're going to be out looking for a good place to stay.
Yeah, man. I was looking for flights even for Labor Day weekend, man. Like, it's crazy. Flights are crazy out there, man.
Yeah, the flights are crazy. The flights are crazy. The flights are crazy. Most of us are flying into Santiago.
Okay. Man, shout out to Flip Flop, man. What's good, bro?
What's good, Mike? Big Mike in the building. What up, Mike? Big shout. Yeah, I just got back from Brazil yesterday. I'm still tired, man. I now know what jet lag feels like. Like I'm worn out. Just got back though, back in the pseudo. Big Mike, shout to Big Mike, shout to Dominican Travel. Those are my dudes right there. Much love. Mike is a real solid dude from way back. So definitely big shout to Mike. Shout to you as well. And like I'm gonna reiterate what you just said though, Mike. Guys are waiting to get their spots and stuff. I'm gonna say this. It is a toss up to me too. Super Bowl and Halloween are kind of 1A, 1B. Like they're neck and neck as far as the top times in the North Coast of Dominican Republic. And when you do wait, you will find yourself homeless or staying somewhere you don't want to stay.
Right.
So yeah, he's right about that. Guys, I tell guys all the time. That's why I was talking about Halloween this year, starting in February, to let guys know, hey, prepare yourself, because last year a lot of latecomers came. Guys were mad at the flight prices. Guys were mad at the price they had to pay. Remember, hotels raised their rates during high season, and so guys were mad about that. I said, well, if you booked it earlier, you would have paid the regular rate. If you wait till later, you are definitely paying a higher rate for Halloween.
No, facts, man. Yeah, I couldn't get Russ Taylor, man. He probably knocked out, man. He told me that he losing it. He told me, man, you got to keep reminding me, man, I'm losing my memory, man. But yeah, so but y'all three, man, as far as this time of the year, when I think about Halloween weekend, I think of y'all three guys as far as always having something. So I wanted to make sure I get y'all up on here so y'all can talk about y'all weekend events. So Flip Flop, man, let us know. I did put the flyers on the community tab.
Okay, appreciate that.
But yeah, tell us about the events that you got going on Halloween weekend.
Well, this will be the 10th annual Halloween weekend for me as far as hosting events. It'll be the 7th annual Paradise Life weekend. We have pretty much the same lineup. I just add a little spice to every event. We have the boat parties coming up. Then we have a big mansion party, and then we have the party on the river. So it's basically a 4-day weekend. Guys check in, we get settled up, go party, and then we'll have so many events. A lot of guys won't even make it to the club at night because we'll be partying all day and all that. But that's pretty much what I do. We just organize it, get it going. We got the VIP packages. I got 21 bedrooms in a mansion, 2 mansions, excuse me. And we pretty much got most of that sold out already. A couple rooms left here and there. But yeah, it's just, guys come together, have a good time. You know what I'm saying? Party and really just enjoy themselves for the weekend, And another thing with that is it's a lot of networking too. And Mike could tell you this from his events as well. When the guys come together, you got guys from all walks of life. And most of us probably would not talk to each other back home. But you got the common denominator, someone like Mike, Dominican Travel, someone like myself, Paradise Life. We bring guys together. You sit there and actually meet people that can help you in business, help you personal, guys you might hang out with back home, stuff like that. So it's more than just party, and actually do a lot of networking that weekend as well. And you meet a lot of good brothers. So yeah, Halloween's definitely a big deal.
Oh yeah, man, there's a lot of good camaraderie, man. I remember seeing
Definitely.
videos of like brainstorming sessions, man. I got some videos on my computer. I think it was like you, Russ, some other guys, man, just talking about business ideas in the Dominican Republic, man. So for those who haven't been to DR and thinking about going to DR, this is one of the best times to go. You know what I mean? I would definitely invest the money, even if it's a little overpriced. I would pull a trigger and pay for the flights and get your accommodations. And, you know, you can reach out to Flip Flop. You can reach out to me as well. You know, I stay familiar with spots that are a little low key that people can reach out to. So I want to ask, for your event, is it a la carte or can people purchase a la carte each event, or is it just one total package?
No, you can do. I have the all inclusive package, which is the basically you get off the plane and everything's taken care of for you, as well as room and board. Excuse me, and VIP package, which includes everything. And yes, you can pay for individual events. A lot of guys don't like getting on the boats. Well, you don't got to get on the boat. Some guys get in late, so they won't make the boat party. They'll be at the mansion party. So you can pay per event. Some guys only want, a lot of guys have their own things going on. Right, so they'll have their own party and then want to pop up to the mansion party side. So yeah, it is what it is. You can contact me. You do the whole package or just one event. It is, or one or two events. It is what it is. We got separate price of everything. And the good thing about the events is food and beer is included. So you will be fed, you will be drinking, and you'll have a good time.
Okay, cool. I used to see throwbacks of them the boat parties, man. Man. So how has Brother Mike's event, Christmas in October, man, since he's been doing it, man, what I guess what stands out to you, man, and what do you feel about, seeing, brothers like him come and do, community service like that?
Well, honestly, that's what we all do. And Brother Mike does it big in October as well, But I believe, like, I got yelled at a couple years ago for keeping a lot of my stuff private. Like, a lot of my charity work I was doing with myself and maybe a couple of friends will help me out. And I got yelled at saying, well, you got Mike over here doing this on a bigger scale. Why don't you let people know? People will donate. I never thought about that. Right. I was not the real type of person to ask for donations, do that. I'll donate quietly and stuff like that. But I like to do my own thing because that was just me. I was going giving toys out on my own and stuff like that. And then I realized, okay, let me put it out there. And just like what Mike got going on, when you put it out there, let people know you're trying to help the community. Believe it or not, people come in droves and they want to donate. They want to be part of it. They want to help. They want to come on the toy drive. They want to come on the food drive. They want to be part of the back to school event. They actually want to be there. So like, as Mike's gotten that started, I've actually seen guys reach out. And like you said, even when it's not October, they'll go visit an orphanage and buy some food and buy some school supplies just on their vacation. So it actually is dope what Mike is doing. He's brought a lot of awareness to guys such as myself and Russell Taylor and guys who do these charities and stuff like that. But the Christmas October is probably the biggest one. I will say that, because for me, I do the back to school, which is now, the toy drive, which I do every Three Kings Day, which is Dominican Christmas basically. And when I was doing the food drive during the pandemic, it turned out really big. So I think Mike has brought a lot of awareness with Dominican Travel as far as, yes, you can help other people, other places. You if you're willing to give out of the kindness of your heart. And it's a dope concept, because the reality is, when you come to these countries, especially when you travel many different countries, you realize how good we got it and how others don't have as much as we have. And believe it or not, I made this comment years ago. I'll blow more money in a club, popping bottles, just me partying with my friends. But there's people I could give half of that money to. So why not just, I could buy less bottles today. How about I just donate to somebody? You know what I'm saying? Someone that actually could use it. So I definitely think what Mike is doing is dope, and he's brought a lot of awareness to that. And a lot of guys are actually stepping up. And like I said, I'm not going to take the credit because Mike was the first one that had it out there as far as out and about, people knowing every October. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to take any credit for that at all. But I think Mike has brought a lot of awareness, and now there's a lot of people doing real donations, real charity work, trying to really help the community. So it's really dope. Definitely dope.
Yeah, brother Mike, man, speak on how speak on like in general, like us that travel is more than just what people think. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't know in the mainstream that people that don't travel, they don't know that, you know what I mean, y'all brothers do like community service, that y'all give back, that is more than just a 3-day weekend partying and having fun and going home. Like a lot of you guys are vested in the society, in the community. So, you know what I mean? So, you know, kind of talk about you know, what brothers are doing that people don't really know about.
Well, what happens is that the Dominican Travel Group, for the most part, is a veteran group. Like, I'm 62 years old. And so what happens is that at a point in your life, you realize you have to start doing something a little different. And I admit, I was younger, in my 30s, in my 20s, in the Dominican Republic, moving around like a lot of young brothers. I was doing a lot of those things, but as you get older, and as you start thinking about your purpose, and as you start thinking about how you want to live your life, the Dominican Travel Group, like I always say, we educate young travelers, new travelers, on some of the things you need to know about traveling. Because as some of us realize is that some people that's traveling to these countries that's not part of some of these chat groups, there's a disconnect on some things you're supposed to do and some things you're not supposed to do. So what we try to do is that we know we can't get the message out to everybody, but the few people that we can, there's some rules to this traveling. And there's some things that you should know as far as how to stay safe and how to keep some foundation and groundwork of what we're doing when we travel, not only to the Dominican Republic, but wherever we travel.
Wherever we go.
Plus, that's why I like these passport bros. We travel. We're not going to the Dominican. We're going to Colombia, Brazil. I like Bangkok type. I like Pattaya. I mean, so we're traveling. So I would hope that as we meet some of these young brothers, and if they're willing to open their minds and listen, they have to listen and don't think that we're trying to dictate to them on how to live their lives. They just have to trust that with our experience of doing things, it's some things we might know just a little bit more than, and if they listen, it might save them a whole lot of money and hardship.
Facts.
Yeah, facts, man. You know, you have me brainstorming in the future. You know, I want to do something similar in the country that I frequent the most, which is Colombia. You know, so you know what y'all doing is inspirational. You know, a lot of people want to model that. Like, you know, I see with the Christmas October, I want to model that. Things I see that Greg at Flip Flop Sports Bar and Grill. You know what I mean? I want to model that. Like, you guys have set up models of that brothers can live in other countries or visit other countries and do things and set up shop where somebody go to Colombia or Brazil or whatever, and they can say, you know, who's the flip flop of this country, so to speak, or whatever the case. You know what I mean? So that's how much impact y'all have on the travel community. So in closing out, because I know you brother got things to do. In closing out, man, just talk about Mike, you first, just the image that you want to see Black men have abroad.
You know, now in my life, I'm into thinking about my legacy while living. This legacy while living for me is so important, is that I'm always thinking about trying to be a better me. Trying to be a better me. I'm always sharing things with other people. I'm always trying to stay as positive as I can. as I deal with so many different people and their issues. And I would just hope that a lot of these brothers that's getting these passports and traveling would just in their minds just think about some of the things they're doing. Think about, be more self-aware of some of the activities that they're doing while, and not only think about self, but think about the things they might do that might impact other brothers that's coming after them to travel, and stop being so selfish. Stop being so selfish and realize that it's a reason why it's certain things we don't do when we go out, and certain behaviors we don't have. It's not that no one's trying to stop you from having fun, but there has to be some type of order to this travel. It has to be. Because if not, the very reason why a lot of us are traveling out the country to get away from some of the nonsense. I live in Chicago. So the main reason why I want to leave Chicago every 3 months, I would hate to run into those same circumstances where I'm traveling throughout the country. Because it's the mindset of some of the individuals that's traveling, they don't get it. But hopefully they'll get it, understand that don't bring that nonsense to some of the places that we all enjoy traveling to. We're not going to accept it. And that's what old school brothers like ourselves, when we see this behavior, sometimes we have to be willing enough to say to somebody, listen, brother, you know, that kind of behavior here just is not cool.
Wow. You hit it on the nail. Let me read this comment real quick. Shout out to Ronan Travels with Alex. We should be so together and organized that we should be able to have references to brothers all over the world helping and advising each other. Facts. So what you got on, man, our image, man, and Mike brought up a key word, man, having some type of order, man.
That's a whole fact. I agree with that. Definitely do.
Man, have you I guess, how do you feel about schooling brothers or being a big brother, man, to new travelers, to travel communities? I know you're outspoken about things that you don't like seeing, so you are outspoken on some things, man. Do you like taking on that role of calling out stuff and trying to respectively put brothers in check, where you see fit?
Who you asked that question to?
Oh, for Brett.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Well, I mean, as Mike said, and I want to say this, like, people don't know, Mike's a very positive dude, like one of the most positive people I know. It's kind of like contagious. He's so positive, you know what I'm saying? But he's right. We have to, like you said, not scold, but more so is teach new travelers. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm actually going to talk about this later tonight. For us guys that were traveling or always traveling, some guys more than others, you learned from someone else back in the day. You were brought to these destinations by someone else and shown the way.
Right.
Now a lot of guys just jumping up and booking a ticket with no information, not even all this YouTube information. They won't even go on YouTube and watch. And then they take some of that behavior that they would do back home and they take it overseas. And I'm noticing a lot of that in all these countries now. Now, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm only outspoken on acting like a knucklehead in other countries. You know what I'm saying? We go to enjoy ourselves. And what I tell people is this. Someone made a comment in a group one time saying, well, when the white boys is doing that, no one's saying nothing. Because it's when the brothers do stuff, we are noticeable everywhere we go. So that's why they saying something about us. We stand out wherever we go. So if the white boys throwing $100 bills in the air and the black dude's throwing $10 bills in the air, they're going to talk about the black dude throwing the $10 bills. That just is what it is. And we have to try to curb that behavior because we are being watched all the time. Whether you know it or not, we're just being watched. As soon as we go, I think someone told a story. He went to Brazil. My first time in Brazil was about maybe 15 of us at the first event. And first thing this person says, are you guys a gang? Because we all had the Paradise Life shirts on. I'm like, why would we be a gang? Like, we're a travel group. We come here to party. Do you see us doing any gang activity? We're drinking, having a good time. The guy was like, oh, no, did you guys came in here real deep? I said, did we do anything to anybody?
Right.
Later on, me and him became cool, but he was like really nervous when he saw us. I'm like, we're just a bunch of brothers traveling, having a good time. I don't think nothing's wrong with that. But like I said, we stand out, and there's nothing we can do about that. So we kind of have to teach the new travelers, like we were taught. My first 2 trips, I was with veterans, travel veterans, and they put me on the game and showed me what's what. Now I already knew how to act, but it was just like, hey, young blood, maintain yourself, do this, do that, move this way accordingly, and we learned. And now I'm able to do the same thing. Mike's able to do the same thing. You're able to do the same thing. But there's a lot of guys who don't have this information and just go on their own. And that's kind of how I see the travel game has some issues with when it comes to small pockets of people who never put on any game. That's my opinion.
Right. No, you're right, man. It's a double standard, unfortunately, man, with black men. Even though women could do the same thing or white men could do the same thing, you know, with us it's a double standard. Unfortunately, we gotta manage that, man. But I want you guys, man. Anybody that's not subscribed to Mr. Flip Flop, please subscribe to his channel.
Appreciate that.
He's about to go live soon. I'm gonna come to your live, man. See what
definitely pull up. It's gonna be a night. It's gonna be a good topic tonight. Good convo tonight. I'm actually bringing this what we just spoke about as part of my convo tonight.
All right, cool. Well, man, yeah, I appreciate you getting up, man. I'm gonna end the stream, man, in a minute.
Appreciate you, Mike. Have a good one, brother.
You too, brother.
All right, you guys be good.
All right, bro.
Happy anniversary too.
Okay, I missed that. But yeah, man, brother Mike, man, yeah, I definitely appreciate you coming up, man. Talking about your event this year, and you know, looking forward to this event this year, many years to come. I'm gonna, I'm gonna send you some money for some toys before your event. I was gonna ask logistically, the shipping company that y'all use to ship toys, is that still running smoothly as far as getting stuff shipped?
That shipping company is so expensive.
Okay.
I don't know yet until I actually get ready to ship some stuff yet. So I can't answer that question yet. I hope so. I just know they always constantly going up on the price.
Okay. Is it? Are you able to buy toys in the Dominican Republic, or do they have?
So expensive.
Really?
We can get better deals here in the States, but
true.
Ship them over there. It's like, you know, we're trying to figure this out.
Okay. Fair enough, man. But yeah, I appreciate you coming up, Mike, man. You know, we'll talk in the back channel, man. You know, we in the same group, so we'll be in touch, brother. All
right, brother. Thanks a lot too. Appreciate you.
All right, appreciate you too, bro.
All right, peace out. Much respect.
So yeah, bro, there you have it, man. If y'all able to go to the Dominican Republic Halloween weekend, I encourage you guys to do so. You can, volunteer with Brother Mike and the Christmas in October event. Flip Flop has some events as well. Also, Russ Taylor Made Dreams, have things going on that weekend as well. So I know those brothers on their respective channels are going to talk about that more and more. Tomorrow, I'm going to start my financial travel Friday series. A lot of brothers from the polling I did, they wanted to learn more and more about step one is building credit, and it's going to kind of build up to get brothers to the point where they can either decide they want to live or be able to visit other countries for for a longer period of time than a traditional, person that's working 9 to 5 with a 2-week vacation, man. So yeah, I'm gonna put a lot into that, man. So I'm gonna start that tomorrow, 8:45 p.m. And then I'm gonna do something on the second half of that part as well. But y'all have a good remainder of the evening, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace out.
Yeah. Got the flight book, it's a library. I'm in the DRDO. Just took a flight to Bora Bora and a foreign pause like foreigners. Berry on her. Up in France, bitch, bonjour. I been come to go so we going Paris tomorrow. Only bags from carrots, spin at the mall. We doing the same alone. My diamonds be saying, add some more change. That's the same alone. Dripping all the way from home and taking the wrong. Got the flight book, it's a library. We ain't flying solo. Tune in to the show. It's the Passport Bros. No excuse entertainment. Jay Slay on the show. Turn it up some more. It's the Passport Bros.